Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. Finally, I got my setup complete. When I got made that last review and didn't show any footage, that was on my Xbox setup, and for some reason, because of the whole Call of Duty HQ thing, for some reason I was struggling to record any footage that I could use for a video regarding Xbox because it would not process the fact that I was playing Black Ops 6. It was like as if I wasn't playing a game at all, just using an application. So that's why my video for that one was kind of half-assed. But now that I actually have it on my proper setup, the setup that I'm very comfortable with, which is on PlayStation, I figured I'd go ahead and give a proper re-review on technically week 2. I know what's it called. I've already given one for week 1, but week 2 will be like basically now that I'm actually more comfortable with the game, what do I feel and all that. And I'm gonna be level with you. It's honestly pretty meh. Like honestly, the game just feels very generic. If anything, it doesn't really feel fun. It feels more like I'm playing a Modern Warfare 3 mod. If anything, it because the funny thing is, and this is what caught me off guard. I know Treyarch is working on this game, and Treyarch is known for like the most simple, like the most. They do their own thing that makes them stand out, but nothing about this game made anything stand out. I mean, sure, you can sprint in all directions, but realistically, that rarely ever happens. In most cases, when you sprint, it doesn't really feel like you're sprinting, or unless, yeah, you're not really sprinting backwards or anything at regular. It just feels like you're moving backwards at regular speed with how fast-paced the game is, that the running in every direction doesn't really make any difference. Same with the whole sliding around and everything, diving and whatnot. Again, and this is my opinion, I honestly feel like the whole sliding and all that mechanics would work if tag sprint wasn't in this game. I feel like that alone is what throws everything off, like the flow of things, because you basically you have walking speed, sprinting speed, and then attack speed. So basically you're on 3 different gear shifts at all times. And yeah, and honestly, it kind of breaks the flow of the game. It would have been easier for them to just not have tag sprint and then have all this, because either be running, then sprinting, and then after that you'd be able to slide and dive in all directions. But with the whole tag sprint thing, it makes it a little difficult to tell if you can do it or not, considering again the speeds between sprinting and tag sprinting are barely noticeable, that I can't even tell if I'm even sprinting at all. I'm always feeling like I'm sprinting, and the only time I can tell if I'm tag sprinting is if my character lifts his gun up or something. But yeah, I finally got the hang of the game, because again, one of the weapons that I was gravitating towards was the XM4 or whatever it's called, then the AK-47, and then I did one of the daily challenges for light machine guns, which was pretty good, but honestly it just felt like any other gun but with 100 bullets. And then I started using the marksman rifles, and that's pretty much where I just stuck it, because surprisingly enough, the marksman rifles do a decent amount of damage, and once you get the attachments to increase bullet velocity and what's it called, aim down speed and all that, the gun's actually pretty good. So I just kind of went with that. I only made it up to level 20 as of now, and I don't know if I'm gonna finish it for the whole 30, because honestly, going 30 is if I'm actually gonna be buying this game. And I'm gonna be level with you right now, I'm not. This game just doesn't really feel right. I thought it was just me, because I'm just like, maybe I'm just getting too old, or maybe I'm like BT, Blame Truth, who freaking was saying this game was making him motion sickness. It honestly, I don't know if it had anything to do, but I basically changed the FOV to 110, turned on the 120 FPS feature, and then from there, anything that would add any kind of blur or grainy effect in the options, I just turned it off, and that, I don't know, I think that alone kind of fixed it. But basically, aside from that, it honestly, the beta was just not fun. Now that I'm in my open setup, and even with the skill-based matchmaking, it feels cranked up. Everyone's sweating their asses off, but that really didn't stop me, because, well, I was able to hold my own now that I found a weapon that I was more comfortable with. But there was no variety. There was, like, every match just felt like I was basically playing ranked. Everyone was just basically just sweating their asses off, and it really just made the game boring, because there was no. One of the things I wanted to do was kind of use the body shield mechanic, which was next to impossible because the second I came close to someone, they just kind of did this weird slide jump, or they just 180'd me if I got too close. So it basically, most of the fun ideas that I had that I was thinking of doing never really happened, only because, well, what's it called? Everyone was just sweating their asses off that it was almost next to impossible to do anything remotely fun in this game. It was just basically play the games and play to win, basically. That's all it came down to, and it really was one of the most exhausting things ever. I tried to muscle through, but I think on my stream I only made it to about an hour and a half and got bored, because let's face it, and I wanted to do something, a little experiment to see if it's me getting old. So what I did was I re-downloaded Black Ops 3. Yeah, Black Ops 3, because it was the only one I could think of that had, fast movement and all that other stuff, low time to kill, and I wanted to see what would happen. So yeah, anyways, I played a few matches just to see what would happen, and yeah, the difference is night and day. It took me some getting used to, because the game's stuck at 30 FPS. I'm used to 120 and all that other stuff. But yeah, this game, with even technically, according to Activision, there's always been skill-based matchmaking, but basically I was able to just mess around, use the dumbest builds imaginable, and just have fun. Something like going from Black Ops 6 to Black Ops 3 was a huge difference in gameplay, because I felt like I could actually use whatever I want and be more experimental with whatever attachments, because I didn't feel like I was playing in a borderline tournaments or anything like that. It was just stupid fun. I used that one. If any of you remember Black Ops 3, you might know what the D12 is, which is that weird saw weapon. It just shoots a saw, goes in a straight direction, and goes through everything. Yeah, I was able to experiment with so many weapons like crazy. Each match I was just using a different weapon, and I was still performing pretty well. Here, it just feels like if I even attempt that, I start off with a weapon with no attachments at first, and I get punished for it. I get punished for experimenting or for not using the Jackal, which, despite them nerfing it, that didn't really stop people. They probably just compensated, or like added different attachments to compensate for the nerfs, and we're right back to the Jackal meta, basically, which again doesn't make much sense. Another thing too was the spawns were, it always felt like as soon as I killed someone, I had to run out of the way or somewhere else as quickly as possible, because a lot of times if I killed too many people in one specific area, they would spawn basically to the far left of me or straight ahead. I mean, it mostly was occurring in Babylon, which it was probably, I don't know, maybe it's just map specific to this one, but a lot of times I would kill someone. I think it was the other map was Rewind. That was a different map that I don't know. It was very, yeah, it wasn't, like I said, I'm just going to keep saying that, but it was not fun. I did this. I streamed on Twitch. I did what I could, drops enabled, talked to some of you, which, some of you did help keep my sanity in check, because this game, it's very taxing. I saw Nero's video where he was talking about how he technically reverse boosted just to see what kind of lobbies they had, and those lobbies that he got into were the same ones I was getting playing Black Ops 3. So yeah, the funny thing is too, and not to throw, I know this is a Black Ops 6 beta review, but sometimes I gotta keep throwing X Defiant in there, because same with them, no skill-based matchmaking, and it led to a whole variety of matches where I can do whatever I want. I'm still doing good, decently well, and everything, and I'm not getting punished. So if I pop off in one match, I know for a fact next match I'll either pop off again, I'll do okay, or whatever. I'll never know. Here it almost feels like, okay, I did so well, I'm gonna have to I'm gonna get punished for this next match. Watch. And it's very exhausting just knowing the fact that if I do too well, I get punished for it, because like, since when were video games such a chore? When did they become a thing where you're practically getting punished for playing a video game? But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. I don't know. I'll look more into the beta and see if I change my mind, but honestly, I really am not. This game isn't for me. Luckily, I'm just playing the open beta, and that's as far as I'm going. And yeah, another thing too, before I wrap this video up, pay close attention to the winner circle between Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 3, and tell me which one you think is better. Until next time then, see you later everyone.
Stick with your toys, kids.